Hello everybody, how are you today? My name is Eva, I'm the director of the Scottish Yarn Festival and the Scottish Show Producer Showcase. I thought I would come on and talk a little bit about the 100 Days Scotland project that I'm taking part in at the moment. I've been posting it into my stories every single day about it. I've been doing it for a week now, so I thought I'd do a little bit of a check-in, show you the project that I'm working on for the 100 Days project and tell you a little bit about the history of it. So if you're tuning in just now, hello! And I'll be saving this to the grid and sharing onto our YouTube channel a little bit later on if you want to catch up. So, just going to look at my laptop here to make sure that I'm getting everything right. But the 100 Days project originally started in 2011 by a New Zealand graphic designer called Emma Rogan, and she was influenced in turn after reading about a class called 100 Days of Design run by Michael, I think it's Beirut, I'm not 100% sure. And she's done a TED Talk that is available on YouTube if you'd like to follow up and see a bit more about that. But the whole sort of ethos behind the 100 Days Project Scotland is just about creativity. That's the project's aim. Quite simple, one word, creativity. The project gives anyone, regardless of age or ability, the framework and permission to get creative. It challenges you to pick your creative outlet and relies on your willingness to work to achieve a creative boost. So, I have a little bit going on just now. Obviously, with our festival happening in September, with our reveal day happening on the 24th of this month and tickets being released on the 1st of July. So what I decided to do was I would take out languishing and many years running WIP, my northeasterly blanket, and put some scraps into it. Now, I doubt I have as many as 100 scraps left within my extensive yarn collection in my studio, and you'll kind of see why in a moment. But I'm going to go as much as I possibly can throughout those 100 days until my scraps either run out or I lose steam or something, and it's just a little pause every single day, and I'll try and upload them every day to my stories, and if I can't, then you'll maybe get 2 or 3 within a story, and I've saved them to highlight as well. So if you'll excuse me for 2 seconds, I am going to nip over there. I'm going to lift out my northeasterly blanket, and you will see why I'm kind of standing at an angle here, because it's already kind of big. So bear with me. This is my beloved northeasterly blanket, and the pattern was released several years ago by Skenanigans. I'm doing the knitted version. There's a crochet version too. It's available to customise in different yarn weights, and yeah, okay, I am not going to get all of this in shot even by being over here, so I'll show you as much as I possibly can. This is what I have so far on my northeasterly blanket. It's pretty big. It needs to be bigger. It's going to be wider. This will be the final length of it. So, what I'm doing at the moment is I'm picking up these strips that are on a couple of long scrap needles. It is fast, it's a monster, but I love it. I love it. And every single one of these scraps is a completely different yarn, so you don't really want to see the back. Yeah, so every single one's totally different. Some have come from scraps, some have come from swaps, some have come from donations. There is 1 and a bit scrap event calendars that have been shared with friends in this too. So I've only just started using up my scrap event calendar from Socanjo from last year. So there's 24 scraps straight up. And I've got some mini skeins and all sorts. So When I know who the dyer is or if it's commercial yarn, because it's a mixture of two and this is all fingering weight, I will kind of tag those people in as I go. And here we go, I'm already in a fankle. Love that, that's one of my favourite Scottish words, fankle. So on the 1st of, it's like, how do we display this? On the 1st of June, I started here. So this one here. But I'm just going to backtrack slightly and tell you who a few of these sort of dyers are. So I know that this one here is My Mama Knits. This one here is Amo Yarn. This is Nora George. This is Celie McWheely. This is Quack Yarn, and I've got some For the Love of Yarn here. But let's go back to where I started on the 1st of June. So on the 1st of June, I've put in this one here. So this is All Wool That Ends Wool. This is a commercial yarn. This is an opal garn. This one came from my scrap vent calendar. This one's also my scrap vent calendar, and this one too. So that's what, 21 from my scrap vent calendar still to go into this project during the 100 days. And then I've started off down here, so I've picked up from here. This is, I think this was an Osterman step. This one here is Hedgehog Fibres, which was given to me by Mothie and the Squid. So it's Fool's Gold by Hedgehog Fibres. This one here is Mothie and the Squid. It's a mini skein that I was given with the purchase of her exclusive Perth Festival of Yarn colourways last year. So that's the first 7 of 100 in these 100 days that I'm going to work on this blanket. By no means I'll probably run out of scraps. Not going to finish the blanket. That is not the aim. The aim is just to put a little bit more work in it, and as I go I can clear up the random doom piles of scraps that are currently sitting in my studio. So yeah, this is it. I love the pattern. It's got a fair amount of weight to it, so it is done modular as you're working it through. So I am going to have to go and reinforce each of these strips once I'm done. That's fine. It will not get used for a long time. So my Martha Bean, who's one of my cats, she turned 12 yesterday, hit the big one too, and Smeagol will be 13 in August. There's a couple of times that I've put this down, I've returned and I found Martha on top of it because she is a wool seeker. And these blankets are not going to be at the mercy of my beloved cats. I will put it away in storage for many, 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 many years, and when my little babies are no longer on this planet with me, then the blankets are coming out, because there's no way, there's absolutely no way I am risking it. But that's absolutely fine, because I am very much a process maker as opposed to a project maker, I think. I mean, I like having the finished projects, but I tend to gift an awful lot of what I make. That's also part of the joy, that's just me. But I just love the mixture of commercials and hand dyes and everything that is in this behemoth of a blanket that I already have. So that's the plan. What are you working on? Is anyone who's watching this also taking part in the 100 Days Scotland project? I would love to know about it. Please drop me a comment, whether that's on the socials or on YouTube, which is actually also a social now that I say it. But yeah, I would love to hear what you're up to. Whether you're also working on one of these blankets. They are fantastic for using up scraps, you know, and there's been a few times I've been working on this and it's like, really? Was it the best idea just to do 20 rows with each colour? Should I maybe have just started with a scrap and gone with it until it finished? Some people have done that with this blanket. That might have been the more sensible idea, but I do quite like the way that it is little chevrons, and if you were to kind of turn it up, they do all kind of look like little knit stitches, don't they? And I quite like that. So it is a long-term project. Check out the highlight and my stories to see each day as I go along. The plan is that I'm going to check in I should do some sort of checking in. But let's be honest, when I start doing all the vendor profiles for the festival at one a day, I don't want to kind of clog up this, like my grid and everything. So I don't know, but for now, the plans are going to be fluid, don't they? The plan just now is I will check in about once a week, do a little accountability video. You can see how I'm getting on, and yeah, you can live my blank out vicariously through me. But thank you for joining me. I will save this to my grid later on, and I'll speak to you later. Bye bye for now.